Man, I was planning on doing this video days ago, but things happen. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, the Miami Dolphins 2021 year in review. I'm going to talk about this year, talk about the good, the bad, maybe give a little bit more insight on why the Dolphins moved on from Brian Flores. Again, I was planning on, I didn't think, I'm going to reiterate this, I didn't think Brian Flores was going to get fired. So again, I was going to make a video on him, thinking to talk about the good and the bad he did, and then that was also going to coincide with this year in review because we're going to talk about the good and the bad he did. But yeah, so let's just jump into this. I'm going to start with stats, and then we're going to go game by game, review, talk about them, all that stuff. So this is going to be a long one. That's what she said. So we'll jump into this. Let's go into draft. We had 2 1s, 2 2s, 1 3, and then we traded a bunch and only had 2 7s. Take Jalen Waddle with the first, with the 6th overall pick. Jalen Phillips with the next one. Javon Holland trading up. We all were hoping that we would take, I was, Javonte Williams. But hey, they didn't trade up for Javon Holland, but I'm glad we got Javon Holland. Absolute beast. Traded up for Liam Eichenberg. Struggled his rookie year. Hopefully he can bounce back. Then we take Hunter Long in the 3rd. And I didn't want Hunter Long in the 3rd, especially with Mike Gesicki sitting there. Maybe that changes, that they re-sign him now that Brian Flores isn't there, because it seemed like him and Brian Flores were butting heads a lot. But they take Hunter Long, the tight end, when Miners was there. I really wanted him, and he's doing really well right now. And then, again, we traded a bunch. I think we had like a 5th or something, and we traded it away. And just were like, screw it, we'll go into the 7th round. And we take Larnell Coleman, the tackle, and we take Jared Dokes, the running back, who hasn't really seen the field at all. And then we'll talk about free agency. Free agency was a lot of no names, a lot of under guys you wouldn't expect a free agency move. We were quiet. We didn't have a lot of cap space compared to this year. We could have about $100 million in cap. But we go Will Fuller. We all know what's going on with Will Fuller. Brush past that. Jacoby Brissett. I wanted him as a backup. I thought he could be a really good, viable backup. Those 4 games showed me that I was dead wrong. Sathan Carter gave him a 3-year deal. Barely any money, though, so they can move on from Sathan Carter without any implication. Bring in Malcolm Brown, Duke Johnson, and Jalen Phillips, Philip Lindsay. They're better 1-2 punch than Malcolm Brown. Bring in Matt Skura, end up cutting him. He goes to another team, starts playing guard, does really well there. Whoever was making decisions on the offensive line, I didn't get. Justin Coleman, bring him in. I like the Justin Coleman signing, and he actually did pretty well, but again, it's a corner. That's like Brian Flores is like upper echelon. Adam Butler, another signing that actually did really well for us. Robert Foster, he got cut. I had high implications for him. He didn't make it. Mike Pilardi, our punter. I'm going to give you some stats on Mike Pilardi, because for me personally, I'm like, he struggled this year and he sucked. And why did we get rid of Matt Hawk? I think his name is. You guys tell me. Haak. I thought it was Hawk. But he had 78 punts this year. His long was 65 yards, and his yards per punt were 44.7. Matt Hawk with the Bills, 52 punts, 63 yards long, so not as long as Pilardi, and 42.9 yards per punt. Not as long as Pilardi, and when he was with Miami Hawk, 68 punts, so not as many punts, but 63 yards long and the same yards per punt. So there was no big difference between Pilardi and Hawk. Still not saying we shouldn't upgrade the punter position. And we bring in Brendan Scarlett, the linebacker, Duke Riley. And we traded for Benardrick McKinney, which we were all like, look at that. And then they cut him. It didn't make much sense to me on that one. But let's look at the team stats right now. I'll pop them up across the bottom. When it comes to points for, and I'll talk about last year's. We'll compare last year's to this year's, because to me, a big regression from last year to this year. I understand we won 7 straight, 8 out of 9. But there was still a huge regression going 1-7 and losing games we should have won against the Raiders, the Colts, the Jaguars, and the Falcons. Those are 4 games. That's a 4-game swing that puts you in a fantastic position right now. Brian Flores is going to win Coach of the Year if those 4 games are won. You can decide who you want to blame on them. 2 of them, Tua wasn't even playing, but those 4 games should have been won by this team. And that puts us at what? 13-4? That's where I kind of predicted the Dolphins to be. But points for, we are 22nd on offense, 16th on defense, and yards 25th on offense, 15th on defense. Retrospective, last year, points for, we were 15th, and yards, we were a little bit better at 22nd, but our defense was so much better last year. Points for, we were 6th, but yards, we were 20th. But our points for was really good. Turnover, 25th this year. Last year, we were 16th. Weren't turning the ball over as much. And we were first last year on defense. This year, we are 8th. When it comes to passing yards, 17th this year with 20th in touchdowns. Last year, 20th and 22nd in touchdowns. So we did much better this year when it came to passing. And defense, 16th this year and 6th in touchdowns. Last year, 23rd in yards and 2nd in touchdowns. So we got better at stopping the passing on the defensive side, but does that help that we faced really bad quarterbacks? Probably. And then when it comes to rushing yards, we were 30th this year and 24th in touchdowns. Last year we were 22nd and 19th, which is saying a lot. Which is saying a whole hell of a lot, because our leading rusher last year, Mike Gesicki, with Savon Ahmed behind him with 584 yards. So the rushing was better last year than it was this year by a whole lot. And then our defense, 14th ranked in rushing defense, 18th ranked in touchdowns. Last year, we were 16th ranked and 18th ranked in touchdowns. So we got a little bit better on the run defense aspect. But yeah, we got worse on points, yards, especially on defense. We got worse on point differential, a whole lot worse. And then we'll look at stats here. I'm not going to go into the quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. Like I said, I have my own video for that, so that'll be coming out soon. But you look at rushing. Myles Gaskin is the leading rusher on the Dolphins with 612 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3.5 yards a carry at an average. He played all 17 games. Right behind him is Duke Johnson. He played 5 games. He had 71 carries, a whole 102 less than Myles Gaskin. He had 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4.6 yards a carry. If Duke Johnson played the full year, if the Miami Dolphins went out and got Duke Johnson in free agency, he would have had, and I'm just talking rushing, I'm not even talking about receiving yards, he would have had 1,122 rushing yards. We would have had a 1,000-yard back again, first time since 2016. But those are your top 2 running backs, and then we have Savon Ahmed in there. 54 carries, 149 yards. Then when it comes to receiving, I obviously have to talk about the number 1 draft pick that we had, the record breaker in Jalen Waddle. 104 receptions. That is a rookie record, not only for the Miami Dolphins, but for, what's a but for? Pooping, Doug. But for the NFL in general. He has 1,015 receiving yards. That is a Miami Dolphins record for receiving yards. He broke Chris Chambers' record, which was 883 there. 9.8 yards per reception, 6 touchdowns. His long was 57 yards. And his catch percentage was 74.3%. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. On Jalen Waddle. Behind him, Mike Gesicki, 73 catches, 780 yards, 2 touchdowns. This guy almost had 1,000 yards. There were some games he disappeared. Baltimore Ravens game. I think even the last 2 games he kind of disappeared. 65.2% catch. Fantastic. He needs to be re-signed. Devontae Parker behind him. 40 catches, 515 yards. He only played 10 games. He missed 7 games, so that we might have had 2,000 yards receiver if Devontae Parker didn't consistently get injured. 12 yards per reception, 2 touchdowns, 54.8% completion catch radius. But Mac Hollins, I want to talk about Mac Hollins real quick. He had 14 catches for 223 yards. He played every single game. This is a video I'm going to talk about with who should be cut, re-signed and stuff, but Mac Hollins is underappreciated, underused with this Miami Dolphin team. But that is the offense. Those are your top receiving and passing guys. Now we're going to talk about the defense. We're going to talk about leading interceptions, getting Xavier Howard with 5, behind him Javon Holland with 2, Nick Needham with 2, Justin Coleman with 2. Our sack leader, pause on that, Manuel Ogbah with 9 needs to be re-signed. Jalen Phillips with 8.5. That is a rookie record for the Miami Dolphins. He has set a rookie record for sacks with the Miami Dolphins. A lot of people were worried about him. Where is he? 8.5 sacks is really good for a rookie. Obviously, it's not Mekhi Parsons, who I think has 13 sacks. But I think he's second among rookies in sacks. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know Russo doesn't have anywhere near as many sacks as he does. But it's a good sign. Jason Taylor had 5.5 his first year. So good sign for Jalen Phillips there. When it comes to tackles, leader is Jerome Baker with 92. Right behind him, Christian Wilkins with 89. I think Christian Wilkins is like top 10, maybe even top 5 among defensive linemen when it comes to tackling. Tackle for losses, leader is Christian Wilkins. Not surprising there. Had a fantastic year. Right behind him, there's 4 players with 9. Jerome Baker, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jalen Phillips, and Emmanuel Ogbah. Quarterback hits, the leader is Emmanuel Ogbah. No surprise there. Behind him, Andrew Van Ginkel. Behind him, Jalen Phillips with 16. Imagine if he just got there a little bit quicker, or they didn't throw the ball a little bit quicker. He would have had way more sacks. Pause on that. Let me see if I have forced fumble. Pass deflected. I wanted to bring this one up. Xavier Howard leads the team with 16, and I bet you can guess who was second behind him. Emmanuel Ogbah with 12. That man was constantly smacking down balls. Pause on that, Doug. Jeez, what is going on with you today? And then we are going to talk about the offensive line. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on essentially, each person and their PFF grade and how much pressure they gave up each. And it was bad. All around it was bad. From Ritter, from Dieter, from whoever we had at center, it was bad. From whoever was at left tackle, right tackle, it was bad. It got better, but it went from being garbage to bad. It was never really good. And the times where people said, look at Tua, he had time in the pocket. Like the pass to Waddle against the Patriots, or the pass to Waddle against the Ravens, or the pass to Gesicki where he had to get out of the pocket, or the pass to Mac Hollins where he had to get out of the pocket against the Jets and throw it on the run. People say, well, look, he made those deep passes. Look how good the offensive line did. And a lot of that had to do with the Dolphins keeping 7 in. 5 offensive linemen, a running back, and a tight end against 4. So did they get better as the year went on? Yes. Were they good? No. You went from being garbage to bad. And the only reason why it came off being good is because we had to keep more guys in to block. Too many times the stunts got them, whether it was Solomon Kinley, whether it was Austin Jackson, whether it was Dieter. A lot of times the tackles were getting beat, and Jesse Davis, I don't know, that alone is a reason why Brian Flores should have been fired, why he kept them in for 17 games. 16, because he didn't play the last game. Jones went in there. Boggles my mind. Also, taking Austin Jackson took him 4 years to put him to right guard, put Liam Eichenberg out there, but even Liam Eichenberg struggled. But anyway, pressure percentage. Essentially, the percentage of time dropbacks that, here, I'll highlight it. Time pressured per dropback. So it's like a percentage. The Miami Dolphins are ranked 13th. Nope, sorry. They are ranked 15th in pressure percentage with 22.9. So right in the middle of the pack when it comes to the amount of pressure that Tua got. When it comes to pressure in general, at 157, the Dolphins' offensive line is ranked 8th. And when it comes to sacks, the Dolphins' offensive line is ranked 13th. And then we will talk about drops. The Miami Dolphins are ranked 3rd when it comes to drops with 35% 35%. 35 drops. And when it comes to the percentage of drops, the Miami Dolphins are ranked 5th with 5.8% of the passes are dropped. When it comes to on target percentage, so how many of those passes are on target, the Miami Dolphins are ranked 8th, 77.2. It's good. And then the bad percentage of passes, the Miami Dolphins are ranked, I have to count from the bottom up, but it's like the bottom half with 16.5. They're not anywhere near the middle or top. 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. 21st ranked with bad passes. So we're on the side of having good passes versus bad passes. And if you're wondering where I got all these stats from, it's Pro Football Reference. So that is the stats of the Miami Dolphins. And again, I will be talking about Tua Tagovailoa in his own video. I will go over all of his stats. I will go over all of his play, his ups, his downs, and give you my evaluation. I told you that after his second year, I was going to tell you what I actually thought of Tua and all that stuff. But now let's look at the games, right? I gave you all the stats. I told you who we picked up in free agency and all that stuff. And then after we go year in review, I'll give you guys an assessment of what I thought of this year. So I have every single game. Every single game. I went back. I watched every game. I watched every game. All of them. Those first 8. First one was nice, the Patriots game, to watch again. But other than that, broke my heart. But I broke them all down. So we're going to start with the New England Patriots. We obviously win that game 17-16. Tua has the dumb interception where he tries to throw the ball out of bounds, but he gets hit. So he just chucks the ball in the air instead of just taking the sack. Ball bounces all over the place, interception. Dumb play on Tua Tagovailoa. They get the ball, march down the field, cause the fumble. Xavier Howard causes the fumble. And a lot of people want to put, boom, stamp it right there. That's what won us this game. Xavier Howard, with that fumble, won us this game. Right when we scooped up that fumble, zeros on the clock, game over, Miami Dolphins won. Thank you, Xavier Howard, for winning this game. No. Did it help? Drastically. It definitely helped. Helped swing the momentum of the game in a different situation. But a lot of people forget the time on the clock when that fumble happened. They were on the Dolphins 11, and there was 3 minutes and 27 seconds left when the Dolphins got the ball back. There was a lot of time left, and the Dolphins had 3 timeouts. The Patriots had 3 timeouts. There's a lot of time left on that clock. So say he didn't get the fumble. Say the Dolphins held them, because Dolphins were up by 1. Say the Dolphins held them, and they kicked the field goal. Then the Dolphins are up by 2. And you still have 3 timeouts, so you might get the ball back with 2 minutes left, give or take. Again, we have 3 timeouts. You don't got to go that far to kick the field goal. Again, or say they do score. You're only up by 6. We just need to score to win. And again, you use your 3 timeouts, or you don't, and you still have a chance to win that game. So a lot of people think that that fumble won us that game. It didn't. It helped, but it didn't. Because when the Dolphins got the ball, they had... Actually, no. They got the ball. They had the run, called back for holding. They were on their own 4-yard line with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left on the clock. And the Patriots had 3 timeouts. On their own 4. It was first and 15, first and 14. And the Patriots had 3 timeouts. So 1 first down wasn't winning the game. The Dolphins had to get 2 first downs, and they had to eat up 3 minutes and 24 seconds from their own 4. Tua audibles to the pass, gets it closer, they convert. Patriots start calling their timeout, they convert again. What won the game was the conversion of those 2 first downs to end the clock. Well, run the clock out, you make the Patriots use their timeouts, game over. The fumble helped, but getting those first downs won the game. Again, there was a lot of time left, a lot of timeouts left, and we were on our own 4. So Dolphins win that one, then they go to Buffalo. Tua gets hurt, breaks his ribs, tries to come back in the game. Brian Flores won't let him. Obviously, I probably wouldn't have let him either. You broke your ribs. And then, there was 2 touchdowns by the Buffalo Bills, then nothing for 2 quarters For 2 quarters, there was nothing. They didn't score again until like the middle of the third. So from the middle of the first to the middle of the third, it was about 2 quarters of just the defense shutting them down. The Miami Dolphins had so many different opportunities to score and tie and potentially win that Bills game. The Bills didn't outplay the Dolphins. It might look like it 35-0, but the offense was just that bad. Interception on Buffalo 31-yard line. Fumble on Buffalo's 11-yard down. Turnover on downs on Buffalo's 16-yard line. An interception, a punt on Buffalo's 38-yard line. All before Buffalo scored their touchdown to make it 21-0. Again, interception on Buffalo 31st. That's one chance. Punt on Buffalo's 38th. Fumble on Buffalo's 11th. Turnover on downs on Buffalo's 16-yard line. Punt on Buffalo's 38. 4 opportunities to score. Kick a field goal. Do something. Nothing. Goose egg. So that killed me. And then we have the Raiders game. We lose that one 31-28. We all know about this one. 14-0, pick 6. Start on the Las Vegas 34 for a lot of the plays, especially the touchdown. And then the safety happens, which is a stupid play and a very stupid throw from Jacoby Brissett. Then the Raiders go on a tear, field goal, touchdown. Sanders misses before the half, a 48-yard field goal. I don't know what was going on with him. Indoors, in a dome, misses a 48-yarder. Waller has 5 receptions for 54 yards. Big stop by Byron Jones, putting him on. Waller was very smart on the defense. So then we go into overtime, which, again, the safety doesn't happen and Sanders makes that field goal. We win that game. We don't go into overtime. Not going for it. 4th and 2 on Las Vegas' 33, and we end up we'll kick the field goal. Why? That was such a dumb call. Again, put that in the side of stupid calls by the coaching, by Brian Flores. Why are you going for it? Why are you kicking the field goal on 4th and 2 from the Las Vegas 33-yard line? Go for it. I don't understand it. But again, we all know what happened with the pass interference call. That didn't happen. A blatant pass interference call. That did not happen. Then we have the Colts game. We lose that one 27-17. Trailing by halftime 7-3. We did not score. We did not score at all until the 4th quarter. Jonathan Taylor wasn't doing his Jonathan Taylor thing at this point. He did have a nice run for a touchdown, but it was very quiet for most of the game. Defense was doing really well. It was the offense that just couldn't do anything against that Colts defense. A lot of it had to do with Jacoby Brissett. Fortunately, Dolphins lose that one. Then we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We lose 45-17. It was 10-10 at the end of the first quarter. And then nothing. We didn't do anything until the third. And they already scored too much. But that Bucs game, I don't think we ever would have won it, even if Tua was there, even if we were calling the 2020 defense. Jags game, Tua Tagovailoa was back. Thank the Lord in heaven, after putting him on IR, he had to sit out a minimum of 3 games. Sanders misses a 58-yard field goal. It's a long field goal. I'm not going to knock him for missing that one, even though the Jaguars had some guy off the street come in and kick a pretty long field goal and win it for him. Dumb interception by Tua. Absolutely dumb interception by Tua. Ends up being nothing, but it does take points away from us. But it was a dumb interception by Tua. Turnover on downs on Miami 46, and then a field goal loss. Why did you go for it on our own 46? Why? It was 20. I think it was 2020 at that point. Dumb decision by the coach. Why are you going for it on our own 46? Putting them right in field goal range. They needed about like another 10, 15 yards. Stupid. You trusted your defense way too much with your starting corners out. Stupid. And we lose by that field goal. So again, the Jags game loss, now that I look at it, was on the coaching. Same thing with the Raiders game, not going for it in overtime. Those 2 games were on coaching. Falcons game, 2 dumb interceptions by Tua. Not saying that they were, redeemable or anything. Gave the Falcons 10 points, even though if the defense would have stopped them, defense had a hard game against the Falcons, a very hard game. We turn over the ball in our own red zone. Tua thought he was going to run a post. He doesn't. He throws it where he should have. He shouldn't have. Caused an interception. It was a touchback. Defense couldn't stop him. Marched right down the field, score a touchdown. But then Tua comes back, throws 4 touchdowns, throws for almost 300 yards, gives them the ball back, gives the defense the ball back with 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. 23-yard pass, 28-yard pass, down to Miami's 24. 2 plays. Gets down to Miami's 24. And they just sit on it. And then they kick the field goal, they win the game. I know that if Tua never threw those 2 touchdowns, we don't know what would have happened, right? Tua doesn't throw those 2 interceptions. One of them might have been a field goal. The other one might have been a touchdown. We don't know, right? Let's say both are field goals. Who's saying that the Dolphins defense would have stopped Atlanta when they couldn't stop them most of the game? I'm putting that game, and again, I've said this, on both Tua and the defense. Tua shouldn't have thrown those 2 interceptions, and the defense needs to make 1 stop. 1 stop. Then we face the Buffalo Bills again. Defense all of a sudden looks like a completely different defense. There's a blocked field goal on Buffalo's 17-yard line, and then by halftime it's 3-3. Dolphin defense again for 2.5 quarters shut down the Bills. There was a muff punt that we couldn't get back. That would have gave us another, a 10-point swing. We lost this game 26-11, but it would have completely swung the momentum and the game if Sanders would have made the field goal from the Buffalo 17, and that muffed punt would have been recovered by the Dolphins in the end zone, giving us 10 extra points. But then we kick a field goal from Buffalo's 33, a fumble, bad snap at Buffalo's 12. More instances, that's 14 points, or potentially 6 more points that could have even tied or won the game for us. So offense, again, loses us both Buffalo games. Whereas the defense really stepped up. And now all of a sudden people are asking, they ask Xavier Howard, the Buffalo game, what happened? What's the difference? You guys were killing it out there. And Xavier Howard himself comes out and says, we started calling 2020 defense. We went back to what was working for us last year. And that pissed me off. You're on a 7-game losing streak. You could have beat the Raiders. You could have beat the Jags. You could have beat the Falcons. And you decided after 7-game losing streak that you're going to 6, you're going to start calling the defense that was working last year? That's when I was like, what is going on with this coach? Then they faced the Texans. Great defense. We finally don't let Tyrod Taylor ruin our day. But horrible offense. You win 17-9, but the offense was garbage. Absolutely garbage. But that started the winning streak. That started the tear. Thursday Night Football, Baltimore Ravens, national TV. Jacoby Brissett gets injured. They put Tua Tagovailoa out there. Tua Tagovailoa should have started the game. He should not have been benched. That was another situation where now all of a sudden we're in the media light because people are wondering why Tua isn't playing, but he's the backup. Same thing with the Houston Texans. Why is Tua the backup? Brian Flores answers the question. He doesn't want to. Tua goes in. Tua does well. He tells Jacoby Brissett to sit down. 2 blown coverages, 1 for Brissett, 1 for Tua, helps us get down the field. Consistent pressure on Lamar Jackson. Then all of a sudden we start this zero blitz defense. We get after him, make him uncomfortable. Scoop and score touchdown from Xavier Howard. Dolphins dominant win 22-10 on national TV. Really good. Really good. Face the Jets. I was there. Fun time. MetLife takeover. Dolphins win 24-17. By a touchdown, 3 offensive pass interference. The refs were garbage in that game. Deep pass to Matt Collins. Good play by Tua. A lot of people want to, look at it, over-criticize it, saying that, Matt Collins had to stop and wave like a punt. He never stopped his feet. He turned around, grabbed it, and kept going. But people don't want to look at the fact that Tua was evading pressure and threw it on the run. He had to step up and throw with the defender coming on his back. Pause on that. 2 missed field goals by the Jets. Missed field goal by Sanders, and then we were facing Joe Flacco, who actually did really well against that zero blitz. Then we take on the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton goes back to Carolina. I'm back. Yeah, and then you went back on the bench after the Dolphin defense took care of you. 4th-ranked defense at the time. Pass defense. The Panthers at this time had the 4th-ranked pass defense. We had a nice block punt for a touchdown. 3 interceptions, Cam Newton gets benched. Well, 2 on Cam, 3 interceptions in general. Cam gets benched, but has a really good game there against the 4th-ranked pass defense. Dolphins dominate this one, win 33-10. Then we have the Giants game facing the Giraffe. Mike Glennon, great defense by the Dolphins there, holding them to 9 points, two touchdowns, 30 for 41, 244 yards. Good game by him. All around good game. Dolphins win 20-9. Take the Jets on the second time. This game was a little bit different. Dolphins win it 31-24. Duke Johnson goes off in this game, has over 100 yards rushing. Two dumb interceptions by Tua. Absolutely dumb interceptions. One of them ending up being a pick six. Bad game by Tua, but we still end up winning this one. He does come back. And that's the thing with Tua. He makes a dumb interception. He always comes back and makes up for it, whether it's a touchdown or converting and helping us win. Saints Monday night. COVID game. Saints are banged up on offense, but they only have three starting defenders out. Dolphins win this one 20-3. Nice pick six from Nick Needham. Even if you take that away, the Dolphins win 13-3. But Nick Needham single-handedly could have beat the Saints by himself. And then the Titans game. The game plan for the Titans game was just stupid. On the coach. Stupid. Horrible game by Tua. Absolutely horrible game by Tua. There's no excusing Tua's play. He was off from jump. Throwing dumb passes, throwing behind and front, too high. It was dumb. But they were not prepared. We're not prepared. While the Tennessee Titans were at 17 points, the Miami Dolphins had 4 opportunities to score points. 4 to make it a reasonable game before halftime. 4 opportunities. They didn't start scoring again, the Titans, until the fourth quarter. So 4 opportunities. Say they're field goals, all 4. You're still down 17-12. And I'm not even talking to, well, no, yeah, I think I included the one field goal. You're down 17-12. Say 2 of them are touchdowns. You're up 20-17. Horrible. But the biggest thing that bothered me about this one, and I think this is when things started becoming questioned, is the game plan and the preparation. Because even Gesicki came out. Omar Kelly asked him, did you game plan for the weather, and did you look ahead to the weather, and then did you make any adjustments at halftime? He flat out said no. But then go to the next week, we beat the Patriots. It's raining. It's like a monsoon in Miami. Tua throws for 100 and something yards. I don't even think he throws for more than 20 times. Duke Johnson has 100 and something rushing yards. Myles Gaskin has a big Philip Lindsay has a bunch of yards. We had about 200 yards on the ground. And we won. They should have took that game plan, that implementation, whatever I want to say, and put it towards the Titans game. The game's on the line. You need to win this game to make the playoffs. And your thought process is, it's cold, it's raining, it's snowing, and it's about 15 mile an hour per winds. The game plan for this game is we're going to try to push the ball down the field. Excuse me? They should have had the same game plan that they did against the Patriots. Just like Bill Belichick, Bills, Patriots. He had Mac throw the ball 3 times. Know your quarterback. If he struggles with whatever, the cold weather, the wind, the rain, whatever, know your quarterback. Don't have him throw it 30-something times. That's why you lost 34-3. You put your quarterback in a crappy situation. Know your quarterback's limitations. And yeah, I'm saying he had limitations. He had a bad game. But it's not on coaching too. But that's the season, right? 9-8. They end up firing Brian Flores. And you could see there's some, the Raiders game, the Jaguars game, the Titans game. There were some areas where the coaching decisions were questionable. And then you got like both Bills games. You have the Raiders game. Not the Raiders game, the Colts game where it was on the offense. The offense did horrible. Absolutely horrible. And you got like the Falcons game where Tua made 2 dumb throws, but also the defense couldn't help you out. 2 minutes left in the game. So like you go over the season, you look at some of the questionable calls, and then you look at what is going on with assumptions behind the scenes, you kind of see why the move was made. Again, would I have done it? Probably not. I think I would have stuck with Brian Flores. But I like I said when I was talking to Big O, and I talk to you guys about this all the time, I'm not surprised, but I did not expect it to happen. Like I said, the way things were going, and then him going on the, going, what was it, 8-1 with the second half of the season, I thought, all right, they're going to give him a second chance. Maybe he can go out there and finally get himself a head coach, an offensive coordinator and stuff. But we've seen Stephen Ross consistently give these guys an extra year when they shouldn't have. Joe Philman gets an extra year. He shouldn't have. Adam Gase gets an extra year. He shouldn't have. So there's so many times where we've seen Stephen Ross give guys extra years when they shouldn't have. And I think this was the time where he was like, you had 3 years. You had plethora of money, plethora of draft picks, and you regressed drastically to start the season 1-7 and make us a laughingstock. Nice turnaround, but you didn't make the playoffs. And I think that's might have been like the caveat to him staying is you make the playoffs, so they probably would have kept him. But look at the Tennessee Titans. They made the playoffs, and he got fired. So overall, this season, to me personally, and I know we went on a 7-game winning streak. It's never been done before. We shouldn't have been in that situation to set that record of being the first team in NFL history to lose 7, win 7. That isn't a good that's not good. Don't celebrate that. We're the first team ever to lose 7 and win 7. We did something. That's horrible. You don't want to lose 7 straight and then have to win 7 straight. So to me, this season, it's a little bit of a disappointment. You went 10-6 and then you started 1-7. You lost to the Jaguars and the Falcons. Yes, the Colts lost to the Jaguars and so did the Bills. But that was a shocker for those two as well. Like, it shouldn't have been the way it has. This decision should have been made differently. Offensive linemen should have been made differently. Some players should not have been cut. Kyle Van Noy, Eric Flowers. So, yeah, to me, 2021 was a disappointment. You went from 10-6 to 9-8. You regressed when you've consistent. And I said this, and I'm going to say the same thing when I do Tua's evaluation. You want to see constant progression. You don't want to see 5-11, 10-6, 9-8. And we're lucky we got to 9-8. You don't want to see that dip because we've seen it before. How many times have we seen it before? We win the division. We get the playoffs, and then we regress for 2 straight years. So, to me, it was a disappointment. But comment below. Let me know what you guys think. You might agree. You might disagree with what I said. It was a long one. We had a lot to talk about in this one. I think this is about a 40-minute video. But comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Film breakdown tomorrow. Then I'm going to do the Tua Tagovailoa review. There's more news about head coaching candidates. Dolphins are asking to interview Dan Quinn. He is the he was the Falcons head coach when they went to the Super Bowl 28-3. And I think right now he's the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. The Dolphins are asking for permission to interview him. So there's a lot I'm going to talk about. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let me know. Comment below. Let me know what you think of the season. What is your thoughts on 2021? All that good stuff. But other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy. Left ends up.